Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga with Heini. I'm Heini, and this week we're going to do a quite short energizing practice for shoulders and back bends. It's a short practice, but you could repeat this twice from beginning to end if you want to make this into a longer practice. Let's get started. For this week's practice, because we're working around the shoulders, some kind of a strap or belt or a towel or even a scarf that you could use as a yoga belt would be quite handy. So you could have it somewhere ready next to your mat. And a second prop that might be quite nice would be either a block or some kind of a small cushion pillow that you can sit on as we go further into the practice. Or maybe already now in the beginning, when we start from a seated pose, you want to sit on a block or a pillow. You could use it already here under your pelvis. So like I said, this is going to be quite a short practice. And when I did this myself, I did it twice in a row, just because the first round I felt quite stiff. So then getting into the second round, you start to get a bit deeper into the poses. So it might be nice to repeat this twice in a row. And we'll be working around the shoulders and getting mobility into the shoulders, into the upper spine as a preparation for next week's bigger back bends, as we still have one more week of back bends next week. We're going to start from a seat, maybe a cross-legged seat, something comfortable, an easy pose where you feel you could spend a couple of minutes. And then, when you are ready, take a couple of slightly deeper breaths in and out. With the exhalations, let your shoulders release away from the ears. Just creating some release, some space between the ears and tops of the shoulders. Another couple of breaths in and out. And as we go through the movements, try to always focus on keeping your neck soft. So not building tension in the neck when we are working around the shoulders. It might happen quite easily. So every now and then, remind yourself to keep the neck soft. Let's take one more breath in and out here. And then with the next breath, bring arms in front of you. As you inhale, open arms, open the chest. So cactusing the arms, maybe looking a bit higher up. As you exhale, bring hands and arms in front of you and push your hands away from the chest, rounding the upper back. Same again. As you inhale, open the chest. Open the arms into a cactus shape. And then exhale, bring hands in front and push hands away from the chest, creating a space between the shoulder blades. Now, next movement, reach your right arm up, left arm down, and you could bend the right elbow, reaching the right hand between the shoulder blades. And then again, exhale, both hands in front, round the back, open space between the shoulder blades. Now left arm up, right arm down. And here again, you could bend the left elbow, bring the hand closer to the shoulder blades, open the chest. And exhale again, push hands away from the chest, round the upper back. We go from the beginning. Again, inhale, open the chest, cactus the arms, keep the neck soft. And exhale, round the back, and really focus on creating a space and movement in the upper spine. Once more, cactus the arms, open the chest, feel the shoulder blades moving. And exhale, round the back, push hands away from the chest. You can let your head come down. Now, right arm reaching up. You can bend the right elbow, bring the hand closer to the shoulder blades, open the chest. Exhale again, round the back, push hands away from the chest. Then as you inhale, reach left arm up, right arm behind you. You can bend the left elbow, lifting the left elbow up. And one more time, Exhale, push hands away from the chest. Keep the neck soft, round the upper back. And then just bring your spine back to center. Bring arms down next to your sides. And with the next inhalation, reach hands together behind the pelvis. You can interlock fingers. And then next in-breath, lift your chest bone up. And hands could just slightly pull down away from the ears, opening across the front of the shoulders, the chest. Send another breath to the chest, so opening around the front of the shoulders, front of the chest. And exhale, release the arms. Bring hands to your knees, bring chin to your chest, and just round the neck. Breathe between the shoulder blades, let the heavy head hang down. You could rock the head a bit from side to side. And then bring your neck, bring your head back up to the center. And this is where you could now reach for your belt, for your strap, bring it to your right hand. And once more, reach the right arm up, bend the right elbow, bring right hand, the belt between the shoulder blades, and then reach left hand either to the other end of the belt, or you might reach hands together. So you're kind of linking the hands and opening the chest. If you're using a belt, you could slowly walk the hands closer together along the belt. We call this the cow face pose. So opening the back of the right arm, opening around the shoulders, soften through the chest. So not pushing the chest out, but softening through the chest, taking that opening more into the shoulders. Take another breath in and out. Let the breath fill your rib cage. And then as you exhale, release that linking of the hands. Bring hands down. You can put the belt aside and now walk hands in front of you and just round the back. You might bring elbows down onto the floor, coming into a full forward bend, allowing head to come down, hanging the heavy head down towards the floor. And again, breathing between the shoulder blades into your upper back, softening the neck. Take another breath in and out. And then with the next in breath, roll the back up. You can walk hands closer to the legs. Roll the shoulders, the chest open. We'll do cow face pose to the other side, but first, change your legs the other way around. So you're still cross-legged, but legs the other way around. And then if you're using the belt, bring it to your left hand, reach left arm up, and then bend the elbow. So your left hand, the belt comes between the shoulder blades. And now right arm reaching either to the left hand, or you can hold the belt, the other end of the belt with your right hand. So linking the hands and maybe walking the hands a bit closer together. Again, creating opening around the shoulders, maybe feeling a stretch in that left arm. And breathing here, softening tops of the shoulders, keeping neck soft and softening the chest. Again, not sticking the chest out. The breath moving the rib cage. Take another breath or two in and out here. And then slowly as you exhale, release the arms. Again, you can put the belt aside. We're not going to need it. And then lean forward. So step hands in front of the legs. Exhale, round the back. Maybe bringing elbows to the mat, to the floor. And allow head to come down. Couple of breaths to your upper back between the shoulder blades. Kind of a counter opening. A counter pose after the cow face pose. And then inhale, slowly, slowly roll the back up. Walk hands closer to legs. Again, open the chest. You can roll the shoulders. And then we're going to stay in a seat, but now extend your left leg in front of you. I'll turn sideways so you can see better. And bend the right knee. So you either step the right foot to the inside of your left leg, or you can also cross the right foot to the outside of your left leg. So you can still sit on both buttocks. Coming into a twist, but more focusing on shoulders and the upper spine. So don't push through the lower back. Just let the lower back follow how it feels good. Now we're going to step the right hand somewhere behind us, maybe fingertips or the whole hand on the mat. And then inhale, lengthen up through that left arm. And with a twist, try to bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. You can still adjust the legs so that you find the elbow to the outside of your right knee. And now focusing on rotation through the shoulders. First, as you inhale, open your chest and try to externally rotate your left shoulder, or just focus on opening your chest. Maybe that's an easier idea. Then as you exhale, close that left shoulder, so rotating the left shoulder in, extending the arm and twisting maybe a tiny bit further through the upper spine, through the rib cage. Inhale again, open the chest. Maybe you come a bit back from that deeper twist. Rotate the left shoulder open. And then as you exhale, again, internally rotate that left shoulder and move it just a bit further into that twist. Again, more think about rotating through your rib cage, your upper spine. Once more, as you inhale, come a bit back from that deep twist. Open the chest, rotate the left shoulder. And exhale, internally rotate the left shoulder. Move a bit further into the twist, more through the upper spine. And breathe here, in and out. You could even look over the right shoulder. And then next inhalation, release the twist, come back to center. And now extend your both legs in front of you. We'll come into a brief forward bend. Step hands in front of you next to the legs. Inhale. And as you exhale, lean forward. Again, allowing your upper back to round. So more than folding yourself into half, think about rounding through the spine, bringing head towards the knees. And again, breathe towards the shoulder blades. Breathe towards your upper back. Let the heavy head drop down, releasing the neck. Take another breath in and out in that forward bend. And then as you inhale, roll the back up. Slowly, maybe walking hands closer to the hips. And then we're going to come into that twist on the other side. So now leave your right leg extended and bend your left knee. So either stepping left foot on the inside of that right leg, or step left foot all the way to the outside of the right leg. And you can keep your hips mobile. You can let them move. Bring left hand behind you. And then as you inhale, reach the right arm up. As you exhale, see if you could bring right elbow to the outside of your left knee. So it's just slightly supporting against that left knee. And then we're going to inhale again. Think about opening your chest, rotating that right shoulder open, externally rotating the right shoulder. And then as you exhale, internally rotate the right shoulder, extend the right arm, and maybe twisting just a bit further. Not pushing though. Same again. Inhale, release a bit from the twist. Open the chest. Bend the right arm. And as you exhale, internally rotate the right shoulder and twist just a bit further. Maybe even looking over the left shoulder. Once more. Inhale, open the chest. Bend the right elbow, rotate the right shoulder open. And exhale, internally rotate the right shoulder, extend the right arm, and maybe twisting just a bit further. But try to visualize the rib cage moving, not forcing through the lower back. And then as you inhale again, release that twist, come back to center. And once more, extend both legs. We come back to that forward bend. Walk hands next to the legs. Inhale. Exhale, rounding through the spine. You can think about head, again, coming towards the knees. Hands could walk a bit further forward, rounding through the upper back. And see if you could let your head come down. If it's morning, especially if it's early in your day, the back line might feel quite stiff. So go only to a point where you feel okay. If there's a lot of stiffness in the upper back, maybe not dropping the head all the way down. So see what feels manageable. Send another breath towards the shoulder blades, in and out. And then as you inhale, roll the back up, walking hands again closer to the hips. And then we're going to roll all the way down onto our back. So come lie down on your back and bend your knees so that your feet are about hip width apart, and open arms into a cactus shape. And here our challenge is trying to keep the backs of the hands, elbows on the mat, on the floor as we move through some bridge back bends. So focus on the shoulders, gently pressing down through the elbows, forearms, backs of the hands. Inhale first, and then as you exhale, press down through the feet, lifting your pelvis, your back off the mat. And as you come up into your bridge, maybe it feels a bit easier to press the arms down. That's very natural. And then as you exhale, slowly bring your back and pelvis down and challenge yourself to keep the elbows, the backs of the hands on the mat. Same again. With your next exhalation, press down through the feet, elevating the pelvis, the back off the mat. And again, check backs of the hands, elbows are down. Inhale at the top. And exhale, slowly release. Trying to keep the backs of the hands, trying to keep the elbows, the forearms on the mat. One last round. As you exhale, press down through the feet. Lift yourself up into that bridge pose. And now we stay here a bit longer, so keep your legs strong. We're going to change our arm position. Stay up in the bridge, and now step your hands next to your ears, turning your elbows up towards the ceiling. So the wheel arms, elbows quite close to your ears, fingers pointing towards your toes, towards your feet. Hands slightly pressing down. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, lower the back, lower the pelvis down. Again, try to keep your arms where they are in that wheel pose. Elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale down on the mat. And exhale, press down through the feet. Elevate the pelvis, the back off the mat. We come back to bridge, keeping hands, arms in that wheel pose, maybe lightly pressing down through the hands. Inhale and exhale again, lower the back, lower the pelvis down. Press down through the hands also when you come down onto the mat. We have one more round, and you can either stay in bridge or lift into a full wheel. Once more, exhale, press down through the feet, elevate the pelvis, the back off the mat. Now, I suggest staying in the bridge, so just staying on your feet, your upper back, your hands. But if you are familiar with a wheel pose, you might lift your upper back, your head off the floor into full wheel, but only if you feel safe, you feel good. I'm going to stay down in the bridge with you. Keep breathing, trying to keep elbows pointing up towards the ceiling, hands pressing down. One more breath in your bridge or in your wheel. And then exhale very slowly, carefully come down. Lower the back, lower the pelvis down. Then release the hands and hug knees into your chest. Bring arms around your knees, around the shins. You can rock from side to side. As you exhale, lift your forehead towards the knees. You're rounding your neck, your upper back as well. You could reach hands all the way to the feet. Curl yourself into a little ball. Couple of breaths in and out. Counter pose for those back bends. And then release the head down, but keep hugging the knees. Inhale and exhale, release the shoulders. And then start to rock forward and back. Hugging your knees, rock a few times forward and back so that you can bring yourself back into a seat. And then you could cross your legs and move over your shins onto all fours, onto hands and knees. And we're going to do a few cat-cow movements here, just moving gently through the spine after those back bends. With exhalation, now round your spine. You can bring head down. And as you inhale, open the chest, just a small, small back bend. Again, exhale, round the back into a cat. Bring chin towards the chest. Inhale, a small cow pose, so more just releasing into a back bend. Let's do a couple more rounds with your own breath, rounding and arching the spine between the cats and the cows. Last one, rounding the back and arching the back. And then bring your spine back to center. And from all fours, come sitting on your shins. And this is where a block or a pillow might be quite handy under the pelvis. So if you know that sitting on your shins like this feels uncomfortable, maybe in the knees or maybe in the ankles, bring something like a block or a pillow under the pelvis so that you're sitting on something, and check that you have some space behind you, so there's some room to lean back. We're going to come into a baby camel pose first, and then we'll see how it would feel to go into a reclining hero pose. So this is a seated hero already. And you might have your feet right under pelvis, or you might be feeling more comfortable sitting between the feet. You can let your knees come closer, or you can let your knees open wider apart. See what feels safe. And then step hands behind the pelvis. And at this point, you might slightly tuck the tailbone under. It might take a bit of pressure away from the lower back. Before we lift up, I would like you to find a place for the hands that feels good for the shoulders. So often we instruct people to turn hands, the fingers, so fingertips towards the feet. That's one way, but it doesn't work for everybody's shoulders. So see if you would prefer turning fingertips maybe to the sides of the mat, or even turning fingertips behind you. kind of away from your feet. That is an option as well. Either way, we start to open the chest. So when you've found a good place for your hands, for your palms, inhale towards the chest, lifting the chest up. And at this point, you might still want to adjust the hands. Make sure you feel safe in your shoulders. Leave that opening in the chest and either keep pelvis down or with the next exhalation, lift your pelvis higher up. So creating a bigger opening in the front of the hips, front of the legs, and see how the neck feels. You might keep your chin towards the chest. You might look up towards the ceiling, or slowly turn your gaze behind you if that feels good in your neck. It's a big opening in the shoulders. It's a big back bend, so don't force anything. At any point, you can come back to the mat or take another breath or two in and out. Where do you feel safe? And then slowly with an exhalation, release the pelvis down. And slowly walk hands onto your knees, onto your thighs. Come back to that basic hero seat. Let the shoulders release. You might bring chin a bit closer to the chest for a couple of breaths. And then you have an option. Either stop back bending here and come into child's pose, lean forward. Or we have one more back bending option if you want, going into the full reclining hero. You might keep a block under pelvis here, or it might be that for this reclining variation, you rather take the block aside. You decide. See again, what feels safe in your knees, in your hips, and as we lean back in your back. If you want one more back bend, again, walk hands behind the pelvis, maybe a bit further back this time. And again, you could slightly tuck the tailbone under. You can let your knees open or come closer together if that helps. And maybe this is plenty enough for you today. Now focusing more on opening through the front of the legs in the beginning. If you want to go further, exhale down onto your elbows. Starting to open through the chest a bit more, maybe leaning the head back. Again, you could lean head all the way back if you want. Last option would be to slowly lean upper back and head all the way down onto the floor, coming into that full reclining hero. And breathe in and out here. It's a big back bend, and it's a big opening for the whole front line of the body. From your feet all the way up to your shoulders. Just make sure there's no pain. You could always come up onto your elbows or up onto the hands if you start to feel that there's pain in your body. Or you might use that child's pose already here. So don't force the back bend. If you are enjoying it, take another breath in and out, breathing towards the chest. And then we start to slowly, carefully come out of the pose. So if you are on your back, down on the mat, inhale, slide elbows, forearms back onto the mat. Come onto your elbows, lift the head up. The next inhalation, come up onto your hands. And then slowly walk hands in front of you and lean into child's pose. And you could have your legs together. You might open legs wider apart in child's pose as well. Breathe towards the back line. If you have been in child's pose already a longer time, that's okay. Give yourself a few more breaths in that child's pose. And then we're going to slowly come back onto hands and knees. This time, tuck the toes under and lift your pelvis up into child's pose, into downward dog. So coming from child's pose into downward dog, and now allowing a nice opening through the backs of the legs. You walk a bit from one foot to the other. Let the head release down. You could shake the head a bit. Breathe in and out. And here, once more, feel the opening through the shoulders. So now it's going a bit the other way. Opening more through the front. Breathe in and out. And then we slowly walk hands and feet closer together. Either leave hands where they are, walk feet to the hands, or maybe you're also moving the hands. So moving hands to the feet. Where do you feel you could then shift more weight onto the feet and arrive into a full forward bend? So now folding forward. Still allow your spine to round. Don't force yourself to be flat on the legs. And then we're going to add a small side bend here. First side, walk your hands towards the right side of the mat. So you stay in that forward bend, but you walk your hands a bit more out to the right side, especially that left hand reaching a bit further out to the right side. See if you could find a bit of opening from your left hip all the way to that left arm. You could lean head onto that left arm. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale, come back to center and walk your hands to the left side of the mat, especially the right hand reaching out towards the left side. Now looking for some opening through the right side of the body. Breathe in and out. And then exhale once more. Come back to the center. Pause there to breathe. Once more, opening the whole back line after those back bends. And then bend the knees. Slowly start to roll the back up. And I suggest walking hands up along the legs. So you're supporting your back as you come up. Coming all the way up into mountain Tadasana pose. Open the chest. This mountain pose is our last pose for today. Take a few breaths here in and out. Let your whole body rest on the feet. Breathe in and out. Again, dropping shoulders away from the ears. And like I said in the beginning, if you want, you might now start the practice from the beginning. Repeat the same practice, see if the body feels different. Or if you now feel that this is a good time to end the practice, you can bring your palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, thank yourself for bringing yourself onto the mat, into your practice, into your body and your back bends. And I thank you very much for joining in. Namaste. Thank you. Good. I hope you feel energized now. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. If you didn't, let me know that as well. If you enjoyed the practice, please give the video a thumbs up and also share the video with someone who you think might benefit from this practice. It really helps the channel to grow. Excellent. And I'll see you again next week in our next back bending practice. Bye.